Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we'll return with round 8 of season 2 of the F124 driver career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Jewel in the Formula 1 crown. It's time for the Monaco Grand Prix, and as you will have read by the title, we have finally got the new 1.3 version of F124. I do understand Monaco probably isn't the best track in the world to test whether, you know, all the new AI tweaks and things like that are working as they should. But yeah, hopefully, of course, we're seeing more and more improvements come to the game. I'll be honest, these probably should have been in the game before it released, but there we are, the joys of an F1 game that is earlier releasing each and every year. But yeah, back at the Monaco Grand Prix though, I'm really looking forward to this one, of course. Last season here, we had a bit of an unfortunate race. We got a puncture very late on, which unfortunately compromised us from scoring some very, very decent points, some well-needed points that early on in the campaign as well. They're taking a look at the car performance. First of all, we've actually got the jump on both Williams and Kick Sauber still, but we're dropping back behind Aston Martin and Alpine. V-Carb now as well, up into 5th best, so they're actually looking like they could rival Mercedes and Ferrari in the not too distant future. Constructors wise and drivers championship wise, Verstappen still with a 25-point lead at the top of the table. Obviously, Ferrari have also got their new name as well, but we're still going to be calling them Ferrari at the end of the day. And Haas now, again, are finally back with the colour white as well inside the game, because you couldn't tell the difference between them and Ferrari on the mini-map as well. So lots of welcome changes coming to the title, and let's try and hope that we can have a good weekend today. Well, here we are then, returning to those most famous of Formula 1 streets here at the Monaco Grand Prix, of course. I was actually, interestingly, listening to Juan Pablo Montoya on the Formula 1 podcast. I know it was a few months ago that he actually was on this show, but of course, yeah, Monaco really does feel like it's kind of lost some of its glamour nowadays, simply because of how many street circuits we've now got. Obviously, when even, 20 years ago, when they were racing at this place, it was the only street circuit on the calendar, the only one of its type. And now, obviously, we've got the likes of Singapore, Vegas, and a couple of others, Baku as well. Yeah, I'm not saying that Monaco isn't special, because, well, if I had the opportunity to win today, I'm certainly going to try and take it. But, it's certainly, I can understand why the drivers are getting more bored of it, why, more and more fans, especially newer fans, obviously don't kind of, appreciate it, because obviously, it isn't as special as it once was. That being said, though, it is still the one they all want to win. And yeah, as we make our way out of the final corner, though, practice makes perfect around these streets, and that is going to be a purple score.
Not all qualifying sessions are created equal. From the moment that a driver sits in a go-kart, they want to end up here, in the pit lane, ready and raring for qualifying at the Monaco Grand Prix.
I feel like this is going to be a really tough weekend, actually, for the Haas team, to be honest. Obviously, we've got the power under the right foot, but that's irrelevant around a track like this. As Hamilton immediately shoots to the top of the timings, it's going to be, your Red Bulls, your Mercedes, those kind of teams that are really, really strong here. But, this is a venue where the driver makes the difference at the end of the day, and so far this season, pretty much throughout this entire series, we've been able to get the better of our teammate Nico Hülkenberg as we slap the wall up at Casino Square, and that's really kind of been altered. But yeah, so far, I just cannot get this car where I want it. Trying to make sure we break a little bit early down at to back, because I'm worried about the understeer as we make our way in there. Out of Anthony Nogues, though, and up towards the line. It is going to be a 1:10.8 P18 there. 4 tenths behind Hülkenberg. We're going to need a big second run. Everything works slightly differently here at Monaco, and, well, you really, if you can avoid it, don't want to leave your last lap to be quite a critical one. Hülkenberg still in P16. Magnussen has got the better of me, though, but we need about another half a second here. We want to see ourselves into Q2. That's a nice line through the first corner, but how can we carry that momentum through the first half of the lap? We were pretty good in the second. It really does feel like you just got to try and get the tyres working where you would need them. As there we go, 10.5 up in Sector 1. Trying to be a little less aggressive with the engine brake. Oh, so you just nudge the wall into the hairpin. Come on, just find the time. Keep it tidy. 4 tenths up now. So just about getting our eye in. As you can see, there we go, half a second. The time is slowly coming back towards us here. We're building up confidence in the car as Verstappen goes top of the board. Oh, a little bit of rear locking again down there. But we'll get a nice run on the exit. Charles Leclerc, the homeboy, so would love to try and take another win on these streets. Oh, we rub up against the wall through the end of Sector 2. I feel like I'm doing a last-ditch Q3 run here, but it is only Q1. Oh, really messy there. We just need to try and get one lap hooked up. The pace is in the car, but it is just extracting it over a single run. Up towards the line, we are going to make Q2, but only in P11. And there we go, Charles Leclerc goes quicker than both Red Bulls at the end of the first session. Top 5, though, separated by less than 3/10. We end up P11, Gasly out in Q1, so Alpine won't be happy with that. But I mean, look at the gap, though. There's 0.3 of a second from Ricciardo in 7th down to Pierre Gasly in P16. Well, that's even worse than engine warning light has just flashed up as we head out into Q2. Luckily, that shouldn't give us too many problems around this circuit, but you never know what might happen. Right towards the end of qualifying here, we got a huge variety of drivers and teams in the drop zone at the moment. A V-Car, the Williams, an Alpine, a Haas, and even the McLaren of Oscar Piastri there. But like I said, the pace is actually in this car. When we get the line hooked up, it is just like really getting it dialed in. We just, cannot get the car hooked up here. It's the first time in a long old while I felt like this on the Monaco streets, but this Haas is not working. Up towards the line. P10. How? Well, I thought we took way too much curb there at the end of Sector 2, going on the exit of the swimming pool, but apparently not. And we scraped through by just 0.02 of a second from Esteban Ocon. We were 1,000th of a second slower than George Russell there at the end of that session. But yeah, I'm guessing our rear wheels must have still been inside the white line as the fronts went off. And then as the fronts came back in, the rear wheels obviously went off the track. So really trying to find the limit here. We got one more shot, and I desperately want to try and get a lap I can actually be proud of on the board. Verstappen has got that Red Bull into the 108 by the end of his first run here, but we don't often do it inside F124. I need a sweat mode lap, as Charles Leclerc stacked it down at the first corner. I don't quite know what's happened there. See, the Ferrari is in the wall, but we'll get around him. I don't know whether that, kind of what that would do. I mean, we would absolutely have to abandon the lap time there, and for the second time, Charles Leclerc has stacked it in a Q3 here at Monaco. Focus, focus, focus. Come on, we are really putting it all on the line here. It's only get one chance to try and put yourself right up towards the top here in Monaco. Purple middle sector goes to show just how hard we're pushing as well. We nudge the wall. Verstappen able to improve by fractions of a second again. So he might well have set 2 lap times here, good enough for pole. But as we make our way out of the final corner, are we going to be able to upset the Red Bull? No, we aren't. It is P9 in the end. But I don't know whether Charles Leclerc has picked up damage and thus a penalty. Well, Verstappen takes pole then here and will look to try and extend his lead over his teammate in the Drivers' Championship. Russell P2 ahead of Charles Leclerc, who, like I said, might end up with some grid penalties ready for the start of the race. We ended up slower than Carlos Sainz in the V-Carb, though, but quicker than Lando Norris, who I'm guessing got caught up behind Charles crashing. But it's P9 then on the grid here for the Monaco Grand Prix.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but we still race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There is no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Sainz, Mr. Monaco, Norris, Ocon, Verstappen, Stroll, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Magnussen, Joe, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And we welcome you to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
We've got a great chance of getting another points finish in this race. Keep it clean and hopefully we can work our way up the field.
Well, we certainly have got a big opportunity here, especially as pole sitter Max Verstappen has taken grid penalties, so he's going to start way down the order. The team want us to start on hards. That is a bold call, but one that I'm going to stick with, simply because if we get a safety car later on in the race, then maybe we can use that to play into our hand here. Hopefully others have done the same. Norris and Ocon behind me haven't, but it is 5 red lights here on the grid. And it's going to be lights out, and away we go, as we've actually done okay on the hookup to the outside of Lando, still in towards that first corner as Hamilton and Carlos Sainz side by side just in front of me. Well, we've held on then to our grid position off the start here. Looks like Leclerc has made the move work on George Russell at the front of the field, so Russell had a bit of a lifeline with pole position here, but hasn't been able to capitalise on it. It's down the inside of Carlos Sainz. We're going to go on this lap 1. Be on the outside, ready for the hairpin. So we tried to get to the outside of Hamilton there. More contact with Sainz, who tried to barge me out into the wall. Not too sure what his problem was, but we've held on, as I think.
Okay, start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Oh, big moment of oversteer there, as I was about to say. I think Hulkenberg's made up good progress, but I think he was just battling it out with Oscar Piastri in the other McLaren car. Oscar really doesn't seem to have kicked on since that. Well, obviously he won the sprint in Shanghai, didn't he? I think in the end, or no, he won a sprint somewhere. I feel like in this series, but yeah, I think ever since Albert Park, haven't quite seen the same Oscar Piastri that I think we were all hoping for. But yeah, early on then, everybody just trying to settle down, get into a rhythm, get into a routine, make sure everybody is comfortable in their car.
This lap, we can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But we're just going to try and sit in where we are. I don't think we've got the pace to really match anybody in front. I love that. We're not even at the end of lap 2 yet, and Mark's already on about risking it, trying to go for moves on Lewis Hamilton in front. I want to keep up with the Mercedes early on here, as it looks like Sainz maybe picked up a tiny bit of damage. That little bit of contact he made with me on the exit of the hairpin, where he was really trying to force us out, I think actually he might have come off second best in all of that. But yeah, it is so important that you settle in, you make sure you're comfortable with what the car's doing underneath you, and I'll be honest, on race fuel, this is the best the car's felt all weekend. Well, it's a shame you can't get like a full rundown of the tyres everybody is using in front, especially around a track like Monaco, because Tsunoda's on mediums. I wonder if Charles Leclerc, I think he might also be on mediums, and Russell's on hards. Hence why Charles was able to get the jump at the start and is just waltzing away. Alonso, Perez, they might be, they could be either way, but it would just be nice to know so you kind of know who you're racing with. Hamilton, though, yeah, is really struggling to keep up with the cars in front, but Sainz is dropping away from us.
Hey mate, Hamilton's ahead of you. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push.
Oh, that is quite funny. That is quite funny, yeah. Hamilton now, we've been told to get the hurry up and try and get past him. He seems to be just about balancing out the pace with Tsunoda in front of him. Problem I've got though, if I sit right underneath his rear wing, we're really struggling with tyre temperature, so I'll actually just drop back again. But now apparently I've got to try and get on with it. Well, what I'm trying to work out is whether Lewis Hamilton has ever actually been overtaken in like normal circumstances here at Monaco. You know, I know obviously he got like a puncture in 2008 and that kind of thing, but has he ever just normally racing even had a move put on him around this circuit Are we potentially going to be the first driver ever to make that happen? Like, if you exclude lap 1 and that kind of thing. So, come on, we've got to try and find a way past, though. Well, I just keep nudging the front left against the wall as well at the moment, so tyre wear has ended up being a bit higher than I really wanted it to. I was hoping, Sainz might lose a little bit more to us if he has picked up that bit of front wing damage just around the outside of Lewis. Well, look, nope, not happening there. Because, yeah, we might have to try and box and go for the undercut. The thing is, at the end of the day, I just don't want to be sat staring at that Ineos logo for the rest of the afternoon. You can already see 47% wear on that front left, and all of that just comes from nudging Armco's. Oh, there we go, tyre wear warning lights flashed up. I mean, like I said, it's not actually the hard tyres not lasting round here. It is simply just how many times we've nudged the walls in the opening half of this Grand Prix. Really did come in way too aggressive once again. Need to focus on that more in this race as well in the future, of just being a bit more patient with the car, being a bit more patient and accepting the fact we can't really make moves early on. Oh, it's down the inside. I mean, it's aggressive. You got to try and take the opportunities where you can here. We're just going to back out immediately. Wasn't quite going to be able to get the power down around Lewis Hamilton, so we are going to peel into the pit lane and bolt on a set of the medium compounded tyre to hopefully see us through to the checkered flag. It's a brave strategy in terms of trying to get the undercut.
Okay, go! Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
So we're definitely going to end up in a fair old amount of traffic.
One stop left in this
Whoa, Logan Sargent there got really aggressive with trying to cut fine next to me down in towards the first corner. But it worked for him. He's come out ahead of me. How long will he be able to stay ahead, though, as we try and round our way up through Casino Square? The tyres pretty much fire up immediately around here at Monaco, down the inside. And that's the second year in a row. I believe Sargent's been jumped there. But that time round, he gives me a little bit of a fight on the exit. Well, I guess, yeah, there you go. George Russell's stricken.
1.6 seconds.
Well, there is George Russell's stricken Mercedes then. And I guess for us, it gives us a freebie in this race, but far more importantly than that, we haven't got a safety car because of it either, so that works out quite nicely. We've got plenty more cars that we need to try and get by, though. I tell you what, when you've got a tyre wear delta, you know, when the AI are at a deficit here, there is every opportunity to try and make moves happen. As, down the inside, big lock-up. We slid it all the way through Larascas. Oscar Piastri, fair play to him, he did a good job jumping out of the way there, but there was no contact made.
Creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds of that. Really good stuff.
I absolutely love the fact this is the first F1 game ever where I really feel confident enough to go for moves down into Larascas. Next up, though, is our teammate that we have very quickly rocked up to the back of. Would hope, you know, again, that the team would place orders in this kind of situation. So Hulkenberg there on the inside. Not for long. And the outside of our teammate will go. That was scary. I mean, every move, every overtake you make around the Monaco streets is scary. But yeah, don't often like to go around the outside down into that braking zone. As Pierre Gasly then next up in the Alpine. There we go. A little bit more controlled than the move we pulled off on Oscar Piastri a lap prior. Well, I guess it doesn't happen often here at Monaco, but I guess these are the rare moments where having all that engine power is still very useful.
Moments where we use the RS. Let's try to be consistent with it going forward, please.
That was a huge dive bomb on Alex Albon, the second Williams we've overtaken into Upper Mirabeau this afternoon. Oh, come on, stop nudging the walls. Well, if ever there was a driver I would be scared of spotting me battling with him, it would obviously be Sir Lancelot here, as down the inside, third lap in a row. He actually does see me there as Ocon peels into the pit lane, so Verstappen has been given free rein. But we're going to be out still ahead. I think we've actually jumped Fernando Alonso here. Yes, we have. So that's actually worked out really nicely for me, and it wasn't many laps of an undercut, but it was a big undercut at that. Well, anyone that watched our F123 series will remember Yuki Tsunoda actually took his first and only ever Formula 1 Grand Prix victory inside that game on these streets. He was just leading once again here, but this time round for Ferrari as Tsunoda into the pit lane then. So we'll definitely be out ahead of him. But I need to try and get past Verstappen, which is still something I don't say often inside F124.
4.8 seconds.
It's Hulkenberg. I would love to see him pick up a P7. That would be his career best result in this game. Well, Verstappen did all the hard work on Saturday, but has had to have a really long Sunday afternoon up to this point. And we're still only halfway through this Grand Prix. Why on earth Red Bull would take grid penalties here of all places?
Get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
I'll never quite be able to work out, but yeah, that Red Bull though has just again got the straight line speed down at turn 1. Have we got the power to try and challenge him as we make our way up the hill? No. Oh, Verstappen did jump out of the way there. I think he was a little bit scared. Perhaps I was going to fire it in even more, but you can't argue that we're not committed here to trying to make the overtake. That Red Bull is potentially costing us time towards the end of the afternoon, as again we have a look down the outside of the hairpin. Just cannot find the grip round the outside of the AI there this year. Oh, a little bit of a stutter by Verstappen on the exit, down the inside into the back. You can't turn in on me there, mate. Say, I know what the AI are like into that corner. They'll try and basically turn in on you and force you to hit the inside wall, but down the inside to back will go. Up then into P5 of this Grand Prix. I believe it's only Leclerc in front of me that doesn't have to pit. But we might have to box again. We're in a bit of a race against the clock now because Carlos Sainz is really slowing Charles Leclerc at this stage of the Grand Prix. Is in 2 seconds a lap because the V-carb still is yet to pit.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
If we could get up to Charles before Carlos decides to dive in, maybe, just maybe, we could challenge him for the lead of this Grand Prix. Oh, there we go. As soon as I say it. Carlos Sainz then immediately will peel into the pit lane, as will Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Perez then still out in front. The gap to Charles, though, down to just 2 seconds. I mean, I would take a red flag right now. Nico Hulkenberg running up in P4. I wouldn't care that Perez gets the jump on everyone. A red flag would be perfect for the team. Oh, we've got yellows. That might be a red flag. Safety car's been called out.
We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed.
Well, it's a shame then that we've had no red flag from that one, because that would have been fantastic timing. But we're going to take the opportunity to box again then. Hopefully we're going to still come out in P2, P3 even.
Okay, Nico's into the pits. Nico in the pits. Okay,
Damn
mate,
it, we're
that's
gonna
it.
get jumped.
Go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Pit strategy
we are going to
complete.
get jumped.
See these tyres through to the end now.
So we got the tyre advantage again over the rest of the runners, and at least we know we certainly won't have to pit between now and the end. But we've got our work cut out with Charles Leclerc back to the lead of this Grand Prix. Well, as we get to 2/3 distance then, Charles Leclerc is going to have his work cut out. Sergio Perez on a fresh set of tyres lines up right behind him, ready for this restart. We want to try and hound drivers as best as we can, as Hamilton there nudges the inside wall through Larascas. Are we going to be able to try and put the power down and get the jump on the Mercedes man pretty much immediately?
Can burn off some of this energy.
No, we're not there. That was so close down at turn 1, but Hamilton just able to defend himself that time round. We've been hassling this Merc so much today, but for the first time, yeah, we have really got the tyre advantage. Well, it's actually Tsunoda and Alonso that seem to be struggling way more than Lewis off of this restart, but the problem is we know the Mercedes driver, he won't try to make moves here. The AI generally won't try and go for anything. I will, but it's not going to work that time round as we lock the rears up. Basically, I realised quite late on there that move was never going to happen, so I had to kind of try and lock up and avoid Lewis. But yeah, come on, I would love a podium here. We've had so much bad luck in this series recently. I just want to try and get a big result, ready for the first time since Jeddah. Oh, we're so close to the back of Lewis over the start-finish line, but we still just can't find anything at the moment. He's got enough grip on those medium compound tyres, and I don't know how much time he spent today defending from me, but it's certainly been a lot of it. As down the inside we have a look again, nothing. Everything I try at the moment does not work. Oh, no. We've got the glitch. How have they not fixed this? This was a glitch years ago. Effectively now, for some reason, the game is pretending that our car is under safety car here, but it's not.
Get what we needed there, I'm afraid. But head down, chin up, and let's focus on the rest of the race.
It doesn't feel as bad as it has done in previous games, but yeah, basically now it will start cutting our power in a couple of spots, trying to brake the car when I'm on full throttle. I mean, look, listen to that. It's trying to do it, and I'm trying to do the opposite.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.6 seconds.
I can try flashbacking, but it doesn't seem to fix it. So listen to that. I basically got my foot to the floor, and it's responding way later. I'm not on the brake there. It's just doing it for me. Yep, listen to that. Listen to that. I've tried flashbacking again. It does not fix it. How is this still a glitch in these games, man? It's been a thing for like 5 years, and it just feels like they'll patch it out of one game, and the next year it'll just come back in again. I don't know whether this is because of the new 1.3 update or what, but again, another big opportunity this weekend, and again, another way that EA and Codemasters, I mean, it's undrivable. It is undrivable here. If this was earlier in the Grand Prix, I mean, unless we got another safety car or something like that. Oh, someone's gone off behind me. I think that was a... Was that Sainz? He's carried on. He just makes it undrivable around this venue at the moment, and there's not a lot else I can do. Well, I wouldn't normally do this, but I think we need to try to either cause a VSC or a full safety car or something. So down at the final couple of corners, we're going to try and just do it. I hate doing this. I hate doing this, but I'm not putting myself at a disadvantage.
No overtaking. Reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up.
It's over. I got a 10-second penalty now. Nothing I could do about it, because obviously we get an illegal blocking, which, yeah, fair enough. But once again, it looks like we're going to get screwed here at Monaco.
Chance to take a breath. We've got another half of this race to go, and there's still a big opportunity there.
We've got 5 laps left of this afternoon, and we've got a 10-second penalty to contend with. Surely we're not going to be able to do anything with this. It's 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go. Again, not getting off to a particularly good getaway there as Lando Norris to the inside. Is it still doing it, though? I think it has figured itself out again. But, I mean, yeah, 10-second penalty absolutely ruins everything.
Diffuser performance will be noticeably worse beyond this point, I'm afraid.
Dearie me, yeah, that diffuser damage is awful. We've got no rotation through the front. I was probably better off just calling it quits. As you can see, Ocon and Norris there side by side just behind. We'll try and go side by side with Lewis Hamilton in front, as we've got yellows out. Maybe if these guys can all Constantina up and continue to battle with each other, maybe by some miracle we could pull out that advantage.
Button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
I know some of you guys always kind of wonder, you know, about these kind of glitches, but as I've always said, I will leave them in the videos. I'm not going to let EA and Coders off scot-free when they make mistakes like this. These kind of glitches have to be showcased. You know, so hopefully they fix them. I'm not even convinced we have made a difference here. No, it definitely is better. But, like I say, we've just got no rotation through the front. Right, absolutely brilliant. I've just been completely turned. And now we get to watch everybody go by. Love that. Absolutely love that. What on earth is this game, man? The new patch, it might have fixed, you know, the deltas, that kind of thing. It is still, there is so much that needs fixing on this game. I'm so fed up every year.
Caution, caution. Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your dash.
Great, yeah. Don't care. Don't care.
Let me know you're okay.
How, every year, can they not fix these basic things? It's so stupid. So unbelievably stupid that these glitches have been around now for, what, 5, 6, 7, maybe even more years inside these games. Second year in a row our Monaco Grand Prix has been completely unravelled underneath me, but Codemasters, you know, the only way I see them fixing this kind of thing now is if we get a completely new game next year. You know, not one that's updated year on year, not one that gets altered and tweaked, but a new Formula 1 game that, you know, not on Ego, anything like that. Put us on Unreal Engine, if, you know, if that's what, or Frostbite, or whatever EA wants to do. But please, Fix this goddamn game.
Yuki Tsunoda has his day of days and takes the checkered flag.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they were able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Well, I'd love to see how Tsunoda's won that in the end. Absolutely would love to take a look at that as well there. And of course, my main title rival, he is going to claim victory when I don't even get to see it there. Not a chance that Yuki Tsunoda was actually able to win that Grand Prix on the road, but he is going to be the one that walks home with the 25 points there. Charles Leclerc, 200ths of a second difference come the checkered flag there. Sergio Perez in P3 ahead of Alonso, Hamilton and Max Verstappen there. Hulkenberg narrowly missing out on what could have been quite a critical point for him in terms of the bigger picture. But for the second year in a row, we get classified, but we don't see the checkered flag here on the Monaco streets. Like I said, I'm not going to edit these glitches out. I'm going to hold EA and, Cody's accountable for this kind of thing until they actually build us a new game from the ground up. We are going to continue to see this kind of thing. And when you think, this is the third game in a row now where we've had a new generation of console, but they, it's not that, they want people on an Xbox One or a PS4 to enjoy the game. It's that they just aren't building a new game that works on, kind of the new physics and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the new patch, maybe it fixes things, maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. It certainly hasn't fixed that glitch. Take a look, though, at the championships. Verstappen, 19-point lead now over Perez. And Charles Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda leapfrogs his way into P5 as we get jumped by Fernando Alonso. And constructors-wise as well, they're Aston Martin now 20 points ahead of us. It looks like our battle is likely going to end up being with Alpine this season. 2 points between McLaren and Mercedes as well there. But yeah, might have lost my cool ever so slightly. But, like I said, I get so frustrated sometimes with what is going on at the moment. But thank you all so much for watching nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we'll be back then ready probably tomorrow. I might take a day off for the Canadian Grand Prix.